everybody should have an OnlyFans, and you don't have to put nudity. This year is the most millionaires they'll ever be because of content creating and OnlyFans, and that really shows how much money you can make.
Hello, my billion-dollar baby. I'm your host, Tara Electra, and on today's episode, we have an OnlyFans megastar. And it's gonna blow your mind how she went from the adult industry and turned it into a mainstream career. So thank you so much for coming today. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I say, even though it's crazy storming, it's like a never-ending storm I feel like we have the last couple of weeks.
I know. I was like, I hate driving in the rain, and it's absolutely pouring in LA right now. So I appreciate you for coming.
I don't know how to drive, so
Really?
I don't have. Yeah.
Did you Uber?
I did.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but I don't. Yeah, I would never drive here, especially in the rain.
Yeah, it is scary because no one's really used to it either. But I'm like, if you go to like London or England, people are just like driving every day in like the biggest storm, and it's like normal. They're like texting and driving. I'm like, oh my gosh, every time, because my family lives out there, so I'm like, we are not pros at the rain here. But I've heard so many amazing things about you, so I'm so happy you can come.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I wanted to start with, obviously you've built this amazing career and you've garnered so many fans that are fanatic about you. And what is it like to have that much fame and create a career that's now became more mainstream? Like, what ways has that affected you positively and negatively?
You know what? You're the second person that kind of said that to me about the fame thing. I actually don't realize how big my fan base is. And I mean, it's gotten me a lot of like fun stuff. Like now I can go and do a lot of fun things, and it feels like sadly everybody accepts me now. Yeah. And it does feel really good. I mean, I could go and do just about anything and they'll let me in, or like, you know, it's really fun. Like I always get invited to parties, and like I love it. I mean, it's a new world for sure, having people like pay attention to me.
Yeah. How long has it been like that for? Like how many years do you feel like you've actually noticed a shift?
Definitely this year. Okay. Before it was like it was almost like a hidden fame that I had, and then once I started doing like magazine covers and stuff, then definitely the last year.
Okay, amazing.
Really fast. Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah. It's like a weird world when you start to see like everyone treating you different, but you feel the same.
It's messed up, actually. Like there's sometimes where I'm like, I know that you guys would have totally been mean to me a year ago, or that like, I don't know. It's like just a giant high school, and I hate it.
Especially in LA.
Yes, I don't even go out here. I like to go out in New York.
Oh,
but
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to kind of get into like you building your career. I know you've came from like a very religious background, right? You were raised that way?
Yes, I was. I was raised in a Mennonite church.
Wow.
It was really, you know, but my family's nice. They're not like, you know how, I don't want to say this, but I have to say, like, some religious people are really rude. Mm-hmm. And my family is definitely not one of those people. Like, they're very accepting, and they are very Christian, but they are, like, the number one thing to be a Christian is to accept everybody, and they're very much so I didn't have, it was very strict and very reserved for sure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sometimes like if you're not their religion or something, or new people are coming in there, it's like a judgmental energy sometimes.
That's not what you're
nice
supposed
that
to do
accepting.
in any religion. You're supposed to be nice.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, don't tell me you're a Christian unless you're going to be accepting. Seriously. Like
that's awesome. So what was it like coming from that and then deciding like you wanted to get into the adult industry? Was that hard, the transition?
Well, no, it wasn't, but I also didn't think I was going to get caught, if you want me to be honest. Like, I just didn't think that anybody would know.
Yeah.
And then when everybody found out, it was definitely, I mean, I don't really talk to I talk to my sister, my mom, and my grandparents, and that's it. I don't talk to anybody else. I think maybe they're like, and my cousins and stuff like that, they don't care, but I think other family members might have an opinion, definitely.
I know it's hard that like someone can like put a label on you and then not accept you for something like that. It's like there's the judgmental energy. It's like they're judging you based off their own
Yeah,
like things.
for sure. One of my cousins, and not to talk shit about her, but I guess the day of her wedding, this is a second cousin. So, and she took time out of her wedding to sit down and talk to everybody about my lifestyle. And I wasn't even there, and my grandma like freaked out, my sister freaked out, and they were like, "Why are you taking the day of your wedding that's supposed to be the happiest day and talking about your second cousin's?" I guess she saved herself for marriage, but
Yeah.
so clearly she has her opinions.
Yeah, there was something I read. It's like if you judge others, it's because you haven't healed a part of yourself. Like you're judging yourself basically because it's reflecting outwards and then you're judging others. I mean, I'm not saying it perfectly, but
Yeah, no, that makes
there's
sense.
like pain in yourself because now you're like judging other people.
Yeah, because if you think about when you're most comfortable, do you really care about what other people are doing?
No, you don't care.
When I've been my happiest, I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't even look at people's stuff then, you know?
Yeah, it's like the real true happiness is like everyone do whatever is going to make them happy. And if that makes you happy, I'm good with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to go out of my way to like tell you what to do because it's just like who's
weird.
Yeah, it is odd.
I don't even want to do that. I don't want to tell anybody what to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah. So that was probably a very interesting experience for you and it probably like affected you a lot during the time people found out. I'm assuming if initially you weren't expecting everyone to find out. So how did you like mentally get through all that and get yourself to a place now? Because you seem so like confident and you feel like you really know yourself now. So like how was that transition for you?
So, I mean, I was like really badly bullied in high school, and I actually graduated 2 years early because of it. And I think that it really actually helped me like not care about what anybody says. And my aunt actually texted me like a long paragraph when I was on my way to LA, and it was like, don't do this, you don't have to do this. And there actually is kind of a divide in my family because that I did adult work, and certain people don't talk to each other because some people were like, leave her alone, and other people were like, we gotta save her, we gotta like, and it was hard. Like, and I think about it like sometimes like my grandpa's sick right now and I have to see my family, and I'm like, I know that they think that I need to be saved still, and I just don't. I just
It's
really
such a weird
don't.
feeling. You're like, I'm good.
I'm like really happy. Like I feel like I'm a lot happier than most people,
That's great. I love that.
I don't want to be saved. I like my life so much.
Yeah. It's like once you accept yourself, it's just like you would like other people to catch up and accept you too. But at the end of the day, it's like you can't change anyone.
I think also maybe for some of the males in my family, I ruined porn for them. Like maybe they can't get on there and enjoy that because that's a big part of people's life.
Yeah.
Is that. And maybe I really like ruined it. Like they can't get on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the ads,
Yeah.
the one day I got tagged in a tweet and it was like 84 million views or something like that, and I know that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I know that they're probably like, damn it.
So you literally had no idea that you were going to blow up this much.
No, I didn't think I was going to get caught.
Crazy.
I really didn't. Like, I thought it was just, I did. I was a stripper first, and then I wanted more people to tip me. So I thought I would put a couple of scenes out, and then it was so easy.
Yeah.
So I really didn't think I was going to get caught. Sometimes I still forget that that's what people know. You know? It really seemed separate.
Yeah. And so what made you go from that and then transition and be like, okay, I want to do OnlyFans now?
So I did have one bad experience and I retired over it, and I was like, this is just not for me. I don't feel safe here. And OnlyFans is so profitable. It was almost like I was losing money too.
Yeah.
And because sometimes you're on set for 10 hours.
Wow.
12 hours. Sometimes I've been on set for 18 hours before, and like when I could shoot a 5-minute thing at home, and I'm just gonna lose money. So I mean, it was I was like, I gotta do OnlyFans like everybody else, of course. Like
exactly.
It's like I'm losing. I could make so much. I said that I had that bad experience. It was down to the testing of the industry, which they are very good, and I still talk so highly of the industry, and I have to say that because I wouldn't be where I am. But they, they lied about someone's test, a company did, and I was like, this is just not safe for me if companies are able to lie like this, and they don't usually. I was like a very rare case.
Wow.
And so I was like, this is just not for me. But I mean, it's so easy sometimes. I had tough days, of course, and there was days where like the person, their hygiene was bad, or there might have been a few disrespectful people on set. But I always had an agent, and my agent always stood up for me, and he always just like, people knew not to bother me, or I've heard really bad things happen to people. But the industry is getting safer and safer, especially with how people come out with like, what has happened to them or whatever. Like the companies they'll get in trouble now, and they keep it very, like the people that are my friends that are still active, they talk to me about how it's very like,
That's
they don't
good.
want anybody canceling them or canceling a company or a director. I mean, there was this was almost 10 years ago that I started, so it's very different. It
That's
changes
cool.
every few years. When I first got in, it was like webcamming was a thing, and that's kind of like the girls made a lot. And then there was actually paid Snapchat where people could do that, and I think they got obviously rid of that, but that was a thing. And then OnlyFans, so they just always, if you follow the industry, you'll actually really follow trends, and it works.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's the paid Snapchat thing. I remember that.
That was crazy,
I'll
right?
tell them. It's basically like you created a Snapchat and then people would pay you, but you had to track it offline. And they had to pay you separately, and then you had to go back to your Snapchat and add them into your private profile, and then they could see your Snap stories. And
difficult.
Yeah.
And then they expired, and then these people expire on this day, these people don't.
Yeah,
it was just an all day thing.
It's like the Snapchat was like the OG OnlyFans.
It was, and they probably copied it off of that because it was making a lot of money for people.
Yeah.
Like it really was.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so interesting. That was like the first real like paywall coming out.
Yeah, people were making like 30 grand a month. I remember I was like, that is amazing, because that's like replaces every day on set, because you only really get paid $800 to $1,200 for a boy girl.
Wow.
It's not a lot
For the day?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not a lot.
Wow.
And people don't realize that either. They go in thinking they're probably going to get paid a few grand a scene. It's not, unless you really have like a strong fan base and you're really desired, you don't get paid.
Wow, that's
Much.
interesting. So I kind of want to get into that. There's obviously somewhat of a stigma for OnlyFans still, but then there's like for the mainstream community, but then there's so many mainstream creators that are showing you can be on OnlyFans and still feel proud of your like self and your body. And like one of the big things I've always loved is like Instagram, and there's so many like girls on the internet that have grown for like being hot, like posting free photos that are like super sexy. They've gotten so much clout, and then like now those girls that are like, okay, if you want to see my ass or you want to see my boobs, like you got to pay for it. And then people are like, oh,
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I read this thing that this year will, I don't know how true this is, but I think it was like Business Insider, and it said that this year is the most millionaires they'll ever be because of content creating in OnlyFans. And that really shows how much money you can make. I know there's a stigma, and I sometimes get scared that they're going to get rid of the nudity on there, because they kind of always threaten that.
Yeah.
And that's what people really want. That's what OnlyFans is known for.
Exactly.
They don't
That's, like, how
want
it
to
started.
acknowledge that.
Yeah.
They really don't.
I know. It's because like I feel like OnlyFans is still trying to go more mainstream because they want more and more people to sign up. And it is cool because at the end of the day, you have the decision if you want to do nudity or not. But there's still like the fact that it's a platform where you can decide. That's like the first platform really that's been, this big that so many people are on, that is allowing you to freely do what you want. So they need to, I feel like, keep that because that's what made them,
Do you know what OnlyFans TV is? Did you see that they have that?
Yes.
And my account one day went up 80% when I did for the day when I did OnlyFans TV. I do like what they're doing. Yeah. Like I it's so different, and it really works.
Yeah, 100%.
I think everybody should have an OnlyFans, and you don't have to put nudity. Just and some people put their podcasts and stuff like that up on there. It's just a way to get paid, and Instagram subscriptions too. Sometimes people do have that.
Yeah, that's what's funny. What's the difference?
I don't know. Oh, well, I guess Instagram you can't do crazy.
But
like,
it's still like you're selling content. And then there's a lot of girls that are like still selling hot photos behind Instagram subscription. But that's acceptable.
I know.
But if they did the same thing on OnlyFans.
I think it's just
it's so wild.
It's so weird, right? And I can't understand it. Or it's like people who will shoot porn with like their significant other, but that's not actual porn. Like that's just like us at home. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's just all like your perspective. Okay, so there's so many people on the internet that want to start an OnlyFans but are scared about it. And I know that you've probably felt this way initially starting your career. What advice would you give those creators?
You got to build a fan base. It's not worth it unless you have a true fan base. And I actually really try to warn people about that, because once you put it out there, it really does stay out there, and you will get people that know you and will subscribe and use it against you. And unless you know for sure you have a fan base that will come over there, I say don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Like, don't even risk it, because there's some people that aren't making money and they put it all on there.
That's true. Yeah, and then they're only making a little bit, and then it's like, is that worth being on the internet?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. That's so true. And I've always said, like, if you're going to do it, you need to at first accept it first, because not everyone's going to respect it or love it or support you. And so there's going to be people that judge it, and you have to like respect it and own it and be proud of what you're doing and know that who you are before you do it. Because I've seen people do it and then they have regret, or they feel shame, or they're feeling all these things, and it's like, you need to feel good about it first.
I always say put up boundaries too, you set yourself some limitations, and unless you truly want to go past those limitations, like, because some people can be convincing, they'll be like, oh, I'll give you $500 if you do this, and then you're kind of like, okay, I mean, it's $500, of course, maybe I'll do it, but put up those boundaries and build a fan base. You can, it's not easy to build a fan base, but you can do it. Mm-hmm. TikTok, all those, like, really try to, build it on there.
Where do you see is the platform that you can grow the most to like help get you new fans?
Instagram, of course. It's still Instagram. I know TikTok. I'm not too much on TikTok. I need to get started with that. I just don't want a new thing to have to try to manage. But
what I've heard a lot recently is like TikTok was helping people grow, but now Instagram Reels is like almost taking over TikTok because they try to like compete.
Yeah.
And so now I'm hearing creators are like, oh no, now I only grow from TikTok Reels. I'm like, oh, interesting.
I heard also Snapchat still is really good. I heard some people are getting paid more on Snapchat than YouTube.
Exactly. Snapchat is also a huge place.
That's
and
OG.
also like you can grow on Snapchat, and that can start to grow you on other socials. And then if you decide you want to create an OnlyFans, you can do that. I think on Snapchat it's just about posting consistently, and you randomly do start to get fans over there.
I don't know. I have a Snapchat, but I don't know how to find people on there unless I have their username. Like nobody pops up on my stuff. It's just news stuff. I don't know if I did mine wrong.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can make like a public profile. So you have to be able to make a public profile. And once you make a public profile, that's how people can search you, I think, without having your number.
But how do they then get the fans that don't know who they are on Snapchat? I don't get it.
I don't know how it comes up, but I just know that if you're consistent and you're posting and you create a public profile, you can post on Spotlight, and Spotlight allows you to be, it basically is posting to the Explore page on Instagram. Oh. And so some of your videos or photos will get seen on Spotlight and some won't, depending on the content and if Snapchat approves it as something that can go to the Explore page. So it's just about being consistent and constantly posting on Spotlight so that eventually you could start to get new fans.
I'm going to do that as soon as I get home.
Yeah.
Because I saw that Spotlight thing. I was like, I don't know what this is. Yeah. I'm not posting on it.
Well, the big thing with Snapchat is that you have to, like, it's so much more brand friendly than Instagram and anything. So if you post something on Spotlight that's not brand friendly, they'll put limited reach on it. And then also if you promote, just so everyone knows, because this is a thing, it took us a while to learn. If you also promote anything on Spotlight, so if you're like, follow me on Instagram, it will shadow ban you, basically. Yeah. It will limited reach you. Or if you post a link, or if you post like anything promotional that's taking you out of Snapchat, and then anything that's sexual. Like one video I saw a creator post, they like flipped off the camera and that got limited reach. Or like if you're
Wow,
like
they're
too
strict.
sexy, they're very strict. They're very
Worse
strict
than
on
Instagram.
Yes.
Wow.
Because it's a lot of kids on Snapchat.
Oh, okay, good to know. See, I don't know how I don't know how Snapchat works. I just
Yeah.
have mine can go public or whatever, but like I just post to my private.
Yeah. I was going to say to you too, when monetizing your content on OnlyFans, what do you think it comes down to as the most important thing? Is it connection with your fan base, or is it the content you create, if you had to pick?
It's connection,
Yes.
for sure. They want the everyday selfies. It's not even about the nudity. It's about having almost like a boyfriend girlfriend experience. That's what they really want. They want to
so
talk
true.
to you. They want to know everything about you, and they really invest their time. There's people that are, talk to me all day long, like
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, I always say, I'm like, people know that they can go see nude creators on the internet
For free.
For free. It's like if they're going to pay for it, it's because of the connection with
Mm-hmm.
the creator.
And that's why you got to be so nice to your fans too. Like I'm never mean to them. Even when I'm irritated, I've definitely had like stalker type of fans, and I'm never mean to them because you can't be.
Yeah, it's all your
want.
community.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
want to support you, and my fans now will buy anything.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
they follow me wherever I go.
See, and that's a huge piece for people to realize is like, even though people are like, oh, they're just doing all this crazy stuff and content, it's like, but we're even saying like it really comes down to the connection. Like that's the most important thing.
And engaging and just being nice.
Yeah.
I see people all the time. I'm like, why are you being mean to them? Like, what did they even really say that was that
Yeah.
bad that you need to be like, F you, I'm blocking you. I'm like, chill out. He probably gave you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been gifted tennis bracelets.
Wow.
My fans are so good to me. They buy me diamonds. They buy me purses. When I move, I stopped doing it because I honestly started to feel bad. But my first ever apartment was completely furnished by a fan. Just one fan.
Wow.
Couches, everything. He furnished my whole place. Never met him. And that was before Snapchat and all of that. Like this was
Yeah.
just a fan from online that I would engage with on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, it's so true. I hear some stuff like that too. I have another creator I know, and she's like, yeah, I said to my OnlyFans, like, I want a new TV. And then one of my fans bought me a new TV.
They
I'm
will. I say just ask. Just,
Yeah.
people are like, why aren't they sending me, even just with boyfriends, like, why aren't they sending me this? I'm like, just ask them to. Just say, babe, I really want you to send me some food right now or some
Yeah.
flowers, and they'll do it. They
Yeah,
just
that's
don't
so
know
true.
to do it unless you ask.
That's so true. Men are simple.
Yeah, I just said that the other day. I was like, men are more simple than what we think. We just got to tell them. We can't be mean. Just say, I want this, please.
You're like, because girls are like, I want him to guess how I feel. It's like, no.
Don't even waste your time.
Yeah, that's funny. I was going to say, oh yeah. What do you think is the most common misconception about OnlyFans?
Well, I want to say that you'll lose your job, but honestly, I think you will really lose your job. I see people, because I want to say that you could do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have a job doing whatever you want to do, and also, having that stable income from an OnlyFans. But I think people really will lose their job. I think the misconception is that you have to do porn.
Yeah, I think that's true.
You don't have to do that.
I think with the job thing, it's about which industry you're in,
Yeah.
right? Like what are you doing on the side? Because I have heard of like some nurses.
Losing their jobs.
Yeah, they like created an OnlyFans, but then they got like really known, but then they're like,
That's weird to me. Why does it matter? I get the teacher thing for sure.
Yes.
But like a nurse, she can't have an OnlyFans? Like why not?
yeah, because people are like, oh my gosh, what is the difference?
Because the bosses want to subscribe. That's what it is. And they can't because they know it's a liability.
Yeah, that's funny. Do you ever have like burnout with like creating new content all the time and get uninspired with that?
Absolutely. There's been times where I've actually gone weeks with not giving any content, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, I
Yeah.
just can't. And then I always go back, I'm like, okay, you need to rest. I think that's with anything. There's
Yeah.
definitely days where I take off days, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and then another thing is not all the time do you feel pretty to like go. You're like, I'm not
Never.
in the mood to be sexy right now.
Never. I never actually, again, Snapchat. Thank goodness they have really good filters, and I just quick, do that. But yeah, there's days where I like might feel a little depressed or like I have a lot going on, and the last thing I want to do is take a photo of myself.
Yeah. And people would think like, oh, it's so easy, you just take a photo. But like, I know so many creators that make a living on OnlyFans, and they're like, I can't tell. I'm like creatively drained. Or they're also like, how many more photos can I take at my house, or like videos? Like I'm over like where I'm taking it.
And
you
it's
know?
never ending too, because once you send that to them, they're done with it within 3 minutes, and it took you 2 hours, you know, and they're just done, and it just takes a lot more time than they're using it for.
Yeah, and they're like next, and you're like, oh gosh.
And they really will be like that. I'll send them something, it'll be like, more, and I'm like, I just took this. Like, I just took this for you.
I know, it's so, that's the part of it I always hear, and like people don't even understand that. It's like there's creators that are definitely getting burnt out. And then also another thing I've seen that's very interesting with some of the large creators on OnlyFans is they start to almost be like, they're like, their hustle has kind of not been, they're not as motivated to do anything else, because they're like, well, OnlyFans is like
so easy
at the same time. They're like, why would I go work so hard for this thing when I actually could just make some content and make more money?
I know, and I struggle with that too. Like there's days where I'm sitting there, I am bored out of my mind, and I'm like, I need a hobby or something like that, but I'm like, I'm not motivated. Life is a lot easier with OnlyFans.
It's so true.
I can't do it sometimes. Like if I think about losing money to go, I got to get to the point where I'm just completely over OnlyFans. I don't think that will ever happen, but until then, I don't think I'm gonna have anything else to really do as a job.
I know, it's interesting, and like that's also a good thing to go into. Like, where do you see the paywall and OnlyFans space going? Like, obviously AI is coming out. Like, do you think that's gonna disrupt this industry?
Probably, but again, what I learned from the industry is to follow the trends. So once OnlyFans dies, then I'll go to AI, then I'll go to the next thing, and that's when my fan base comes with me, and you know, then I'll be so fine.
True. I love that energy. That's great.
Yeah,
because I see people get scared. Yeah,
I'm not scared, and I save, and I just know that that's how it works. You know. I'm just so used to it, and I don't think it's a scary thing to keep following trends, because it will just make you money.
Yeah.
Just got to keep going.
I also love that you said you save. How did you learn to like manage your money?
Spent it all. Like spent it all, and like I mean, and then I got to the point where I was like, I need to save. Like I can't do this forever. I don't know how long it's going to last for me. I'm lucky that I'm 27 and it's still, you know, I'm still going strong, but I'm still scared. I still want to save. I don't ever want to be broke.
Yeah.
Like I've been broke. Have you been broke?
Yes. Yes, definitely. It's the worst feeling.
It's the worst.
Yeah. It's not a good feeling.
I can't do it. And I have a finance lady that controls my money.
Yeah.
She
great.
gives me a certain amount every month, and then that's that.
I
mean, I have to go ask her for more, but I don't want to. Like I
like, it's like my mom
did that.
Can I have a little more? Nope.
Yeah. She's like, nah, it's not
I
in
love
the
that.
finances.
That's
so
great.
I needed that.
Yeah.
Because I'll shop. I definitely have a shopping addiction.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I love that. I love that you figured out even doing that for yourself, though, knowing like what areas you struggle with, whether it's shopping, because my sister's the same way. She's like, I see packages at the door every day. I'm like, dude,
Amazon.
chill. Yeah, she's just like flooding. I'm like, what could you possibly be buying? But knowing that is a thing for you, and then setting up a situation where you only have a certain amount is very smart. I think for a lot of people, it's like, okay, look for your pain points in your financials, and then set yourself up properly so that you don't hurt yourself moving forward, and that you could set yourself up. So I think that's really smart you did that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need that much spending money. We all think that we do, but I learned that I really don't. Like, I don't need to go to the mall every day.
Yeah. And then also when you're buying these things, it's like, why are you buying it? Because
you're depressed.
Exactly. It's like an instant gratification. And I've seen some girls that do really well on OnlyFans, and they go like buy a Porsche, and then they buy a Range Rover, and then they buy another car. I'm like, you really need 3 cars? And then I'm like, you're getting the gratification, but it's like, you know, you need to be smart with your money.
I don't get the car thing.
Yeah,
I really don't. I don't get why people want really nice cars. I think it's a huge waste of money. Like, Huge.
Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah. Do you just Uber everywhere?
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a waste of money too. If I really want to think about it, I probably could have bought a few Porsches with the Ubers.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you don't like driving, it's like, it's about, I heard someone say, they're like, I Uber everywhere because I get things done in the car.
I
So
do.
I'm like, okay, yeah.
I do. I do all my phone calls, it actually is relaxing for me.
Yeah, to get driven. It's like, I like it. So being the star and having this huge following and having all these fans, how has it been for you with dating?
Trash. Like, so trash. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I am so spoiled. It's not trash, actually, for me. I just want to say that's trash because I have fun with it being I just love drama.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't love drama, but I love like a dopamine high when I can get like angry at someone and then, But listen, I have really good looking, successful guys that actually take me out on dates. Right now I'm not having sex. They're not requiring sex from me.
Oh,
like
I love that.
they spend a lot of time with me. I sleep over at their places. They know that that's not what I want. These are like successful people. So it hasn't been bad. I just am not in the mental state where I want to date. Like it's always turned out so bad for me, and I noticed that my significant others actually kind of get jealous maybe of me or like intimidated by, I don't know what it is.
Well,
like,
I can tell what it is.
It seems
I'm like, I know what it is right away. It's because you're like this beautiful girl that's also successful and then has like millions of men around the world that want to be with you. It's probably very hard for a guy to like.
I know, but at the same time, I'm like, I live with you. I
know,
like
it seems
I
easy
don't
for
get
you,
it.
but it's
like I don't
probably-
pay attention to them. I don't answer them. Like I just don't get it sometimes. Like they get so territorial.
You have to be like a very confident man in yourself to date someone like you.
That doesn't exist. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's pretty hard.
It's
I would
just
imagine.
1%. You gotta really search.
And then I think guys probably initially think they probably can handle it, and then they're like, "Oh shoot, I've never dated someone that like has this much attention and is gorgeous and is successful." It's like,
and they want that porn star experience with me, and then I think when they get it, it's intimidating for them. Like they want to act like they are gonna let loose, and then I don't think it's scary. You know what I mean? I think that's also like, I think men are like, I want to freak, I want to have sex 3 times a day, and then when they get that, I don't think it's what they thought it was gonna be.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's exhausting for them. I think men are very sexual, but I think that they think they're more sexual than what they really. I think they want more nurturing and more like love and know a compassionate partner. And then I think the good sex comes with it, and I think they confuse that with an overabundance of sex. And then when they get that, they're like, I don't really want to go for the 5th time today.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Also, like, how has it been for you to navigate like a man's true intentions with you? I feel like that would be probably hard because you probably have a lot of people that already know who you are that are hitting on you, right?
Yeah. I just put them in their place from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not these things are not gonna happen. You're not gonna act like this. You're not gonna, do all these things. I'll tell them clearly from the beginning whether I am there just for sex or whether I see them as a potential partner. And I can tell that just from like, not even just from one date, no sex, nothing. I know what I want from somebody, and I make that very clear.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you set your boundaries, people respect it. They're like,
they
oh
don't
shit.
Believe it sometimes. Like they really, I'm like, I told you this was only going to be a hookup, and you're calling. And you're texting, and it's have you ever had someone call your phone repeatedly and text your phone repeatedly? It's actually scary.
It's weird.
It's actually really
and it's
scary.
unattractive.
Yeah, no, it is. It's
very unattractive. I was watching something, and they're like, how to have a magnetic personality so that like so many people are drawn to you. And it's like when you have the needy energy, it's like repelling.
Yeah,
it literally repels people from you. Like people, then they start to be like, if you're like, I want to be with you so badly, it's like, well, what's wrong with you that you need to like you're dying to be with me so much? Because it was a cool way that they explained it. They're like, because at the end of the day, like we're all living in our own minds, and like we personally see like little faults with ourselves, and maybe they don't see it. Like, you have bad breath in the morning or you're insecure about this. Like they don't know those things. So then when they're being so obsessed with you and putting you on such a pedestal and you know some of your pains, you're like, well, why are you so obsessed with me? What's wrong with you now?
Right.
You
It's
know?
like they want to take that last little like of your positive energy, when
like,
someone's needy. I've definitely had very needy partners, like next level needy. So I get it.
Have you been intimate with someone that then wanted you to stop like doing content on OnlyFans or having an OnlyFans?
So I only had a partner while I was active in the industry that didn't want me to do it anymore, which makes a little bit more sense.
Yes.
But I just lied to him and told him I wasn't doing it. So I'm very strict on no man will interfere with me making money. And if I'm not at a place where whatever I'm doing for an income is acceptable for you, then that's just not our time to be together, because I just am very like strict. And I'm also very strict if a man starts affecting my mental health where I don't want to take photos of myself or anything like that, I'll get rid of them because it affects my income. But I've definitely had people kind of dance around it and I just get rid of them. I'm just like, I can't.
You're like, we're
can't
not
do
gonna
that
lie.
for you.
I love
While
that.
they're cheating and stuff, come on. I'm not gonna like, and I don't have content anymore with other people. Like it's just me. So, and it's gonna be rare for them to find someone that doesn't have an OnlyFans and doesn't put up nudity.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I love that you said that because I've met some girls that are making 6 figures a month that have literally shut down their OnlyFans for a man, and then they cheated on them, the guy, and then they're like, how to start from zero again. I've seen that.
I see it all the time. I actually feel really bad for girls. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't. Like do it for yourself. If you decide I don't want to do this anymore and I'm done putting up this content, then I think that's great. But for a man to tell you not to do it, I just can't.
It's like you, I always say to them, I'm like, they liked you for you in the first place. So why are they trying to change you now?
They were okay with it at the very beginning until their income wasn't as much as yours. And then now
that's a huge piece too.
A little bit of a problem.
I've seen that too. A lot of girls are making so much more than their men that are on OnlyFans. And then that's also a problem.
Yeah. I mean, do you subscribe to any guys on OnlyFans?
Not really, but I'm like, I know that if you're a male on OnlyFans, the way you do better is if you also have men following you.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense, of course. Because I was like, I don't know if none of my friends talk about subscribing to a guy's OnlyFans and buying the content.
Yeah,
they'll just send it right away. You just send them a DM, hey, can I get a nude? They'll do it.
That's so true. Yeah, because I'm like, no, it's not in girls' nature to like spend money on a man. Like it's not many girls that want to do that. So like to be like, oh yeah, I'll tip you, do it. It's not as common.
Maybe I could actually for fun.
For fun, but not like a consistent every day you're logging in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I was gonna say also like, there's men that like, there's a specific girl I'm thinking of right now. She makes insane money on OnlyFans, but her boyfriend that she's been with for a few years like has a normal job, and then that's brought a lot of insecurity to their relationship because she's can make her own schedule. She wants to go on trips, and then she has to pay for their trips, and then it's kind of like emasculating for him. So there's a lot of like interesting relationships within the OnlyFans space that I've seen.
That definitely it throws a dynamic off. I had a boyfriend in the past where my fans were buying me a bunch of stuff, and he would just be like, why do you always post what your fans buy? You never post what I buy you. And like he would really try to like be on that level of the fans. I'm like, it's just different. Like you don't need to compete. You don't need to like feel insecure. Like I could see why it makes sense, but I also don't. Like, why not enjoy that? Like, why not really enjoy a woman that can take you on vacations? That's so rare,
It's true.
That's a really big privilege for a guy to have.
Exactly. And if the man is coming to you because, or if the girl is choosing you, even though they make more money than you, then it's like accepting that. You have to accept that first and know like, okay, can you trust that this girl loves you for more than money? And clearly she does if she picked you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I think it kind of sometimes gets in their head.
Do you love her more than, more than her money?
Yeah.
Because what happens when she doesn't want to do OnlyFans anymore? What happens when you do tell her to get rid of it? Like, is he going to take over that, the rent and make sure her stuff's paid for?
Yeah.
Is he going to help her through school so she can get another,
job
that pays really well.
Yeah.
You got to be a doctor almost. I'm being serious.
I know,
if you
to
want
make
to
what
make
you're
the
making.
money.
I
Yeah.
know. That's what's so crazy is like doctors, lawyers, there's so many OnlyFans creators that are making that and more. Wow.
I know, and they work so hard too.
Yeah.
Sad. It's sad.
Okay, I want to get into your podcast.
Okay.
So tell us about your podcast. What can people expect when going to listen to it? And tell us the name of it first.
It's called the Heartbreakers, and it's with me and my friend James. And, it's just relationship advice and sexual health advice. It actually kind of really started with other females wanting advice on certain things. And I actually did Twitter spaces, and people would listen to them.
Oh, wow.
And I would get like 20,000 people listening, and people really liked it. Like they would actually like write emails in and be like, what about this? I need help with this. So we did the podcast, and you can expect to write in or get any advice on just the most uncomfortable things possible.
Can you tell us an example of one and what advice you have for it so people can kind of see into it? Like what's like a question that you've been asked and then your advice behind it?
One of my most favorite ones is actually a girl wrote in and she talked about how she doesn't like the way her vagina looks. And that it actually made me feel sad for her. She's like, I feel so uncomfortable. I don't want to have sex. And my advice was that nobody's vagina looks nice. It doesn't. Like, I know guys think that, but, like, it really doesn't. And she then wrote in later and was like, thank you. Like, I didn't realize that, nobody's looks good. But that's an insecurity for a lot of people. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that is so true. I've heard that too. And I see it on a lot more TV shows now. Like on Netflix, they start to open that up to young girls, which is sweet.
There's a lot of virgins that I didn't realize that are like in their 30s and stuff that are still struggling to lose their virginity, that are still uncomfortable with, opening up to someone.
Wow, what is it because they've waited so long that now they're like in their head about it?
Yeah, I think they have waited so long, and then I think when you push something off, then you just get that anxiety, and then you gotta
a bigger deal.
Then you gotta let that wall down, and and fight through that, and then sex is scary, like unless you've done it like a bunch of times with the same person, it can be really scary already, and I don't think if you're a virgin until you're 30, you should even tell anybody or the person that you're with that you're a virgin. I think that that's also scary for them, is to admit that they've waited that long.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It seemed like they didn't know how to tell people, and I just don't. It doesn't even matter. Just
Yeah.
If you come within 2 seconds, then fine.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. Oh, for a man.
Yeah, these are guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, these are guys writing in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. It's like, just get it over with. Don't even tell the girl.
Yeah. Or maybe, I know it's illegal, but get a prostitute. I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
That was one of my suggestions. Like, why not a really nice escort?
Yeah.
That's there and patient. Maybe you could tell her then, like,
That's true. What have you done to be able to create this fan base that feels comfortable to come to you and really talk about these things?
I think it's me exposing myself the way that I did, in the adult industry. That's hard for people to do. I think people actually admire it in some ways, and it makes them feel more comfortable to come to me. I also make sure that my social media is a place where there's no negativity. And if someone is negative, then they look like an outsider. You know what I mean? Like, they look weird.
Yes.
And so I just want those things to be comfortable for people. And I think that's really what it is that I keep my social media. I do say like funny, like things, whatever, but like I keep it so lighthearted, and I don't, I don't make it negative.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. It's like, because you've owned your sexuality and you've owned who you are, people are like, okay, well, I want that. And then they can come to you to be like, how can I feel better about this? Because there's so many people in the world that don't feel comfortable with sex and their sexuality and being sexy in the first place.
I know. And I'll answer any question, honestly. Like, there's nothing that I feel uncomfortable answering.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you're like, Whatever. I've already accepted everything. That's cool. And that makes people be like, it's like, for people that are uncomfortable with it, it's like, it's so interesting to see someone so accepting of themselves,
Yeah.
So I feel like that's awesome.
More people are becoming that, the more podcasts and stuff like that come out. I think that more people just, are okay with answering things and exposing themselves. Not really exposing themselves, but being,
And
open.
It's cool that you have a male on the other side too, so you guys give your guys' opinions on both sides.
And he's gay. Because yeah, so I was like, we need like a a gay opinion.
Yeah.
Because there's that too. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I didn't even know that they were lacking bottoms or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
There's like no bottoms.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's certain
or maybe
things.
there's no tops. There was one where it's like someone was like, "Why is there no why don't we have many tops?" I was like, "I don't even know what that is." Like,
yeah, you're like, I don't know
Google
what's. You're like, let's.
And I didn't like what came up. I'm just kidding.
That's funny. Oh, I love that. So, how long have you had your podcast for?
It's almost 2 years. But
wow, you're an OG.
Yeah, but the first year we just did it kind of like
for fun,
like super amateur, and then this year it finally looks nice.
Wow,
like,
I love that. I think that's where it all starts. It's like just enjoying it and like doing it because you actually like to do it and not overthinking where it needs to be and how it needs to look. I think with anything that you want to start in your career is really good to just do it, and then you can slowly get to a place, like you said, is like, okay, now I like how it looks and stuff.
Have you ever regretted something that you said?
Not so far. Okay. Maybe in the future. Maybe like one of my episodes someone's going to clip and then I will.
I talked about someone on my podcast, but I didn't say a name.
Yeah.
And they got really upset. They got really upset.
Because they knew it was them.
They knew it was them. Yeah. Yeah, they called me twice about it, actually, upset. Like,
and you had no idea it was going to upset them. You're like...
Well, yeah, I knew it was going to upset them because it was an upsetting story that I shared. But I didn't say their name, and unless it was that person, they wouldn't have known.
Yeah, that's true.
So
no one would know.
Shouldn't have done it, you know?
Like, so sorry.
But I'll never do that again. I'm very cautious now of, like... I don't want to...
Yeah, offend people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up, and there's something I always do. What's your $1 billion quality that has gotten you to the place you are today?
Man, that's a hard question. Honestly, I really think my personality.
Yeah.
Like I really think how compassionate I am. Mm-hmm. And I always my mom always says this, and I always say the same thing. I walk in truth and I walk in light, and I just always say that, like, I go into every situation truthful and with light, and I think that it's gotten me very far.
I love that. Yeah, for you, and I know for usually tell someone else theirs, but like how much you accept yourself so that you could accept others is where I think like the compassion probably comes from too.
Yeah, for sure.
So I love that.
I wanted to say my legs or something, but you know.
And then okay, so I always like to do a manifestation moment. So close your eyes and tell me where you are going to be in 3 years from now.
I'm going to be married and pregnant with twins.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I was
strong,
not expecting
right?
that. That was strong. Twin girls or boys?
One boy, one girl.
Oh, I love that. Wow. Yeah. I feel like you really are. The fact that you like knew that so confidently.
No, I know. I'm confident in it. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I love that. Okay, so tell everyone where they can find you on socials.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram, Elsa Jean Official, and Elsa Jean is me on Twitter, and that's all I really have.
And your podcast was
Heartbreakers.
And
the Heartbreakers podcast. You can find that on Instagram, but honestly, on my main Instagram, that's where I post everything, where you can find me. That's just the easiest, just to follow me there.
Amazing.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. You're so sweet.
I don't want to drop the mic.
Thank you so much, my $1 billion baby, for listening to today's episode. As you know, I read all your comments, so let me know what parts resonated with you the most, and we'll be releasing new episodes every Tuesday. I can't wait to see you next week.